Welcome to The Disappearing Mind, a unique podcast helping you find clarity and support along your dementia journey. Now, join National Dementia Trainer and Coach Dawn Platt for an all-new episode.
Hello and welcome to the Disappearing Mind podcast. I'm your host, Dawn Platt. Welcome back to another episode in the dementia caring journey and family conflict. We've done several of these. I hope that you have taken the time to listen to the series. I think that what I want to say is not every family has conflict. And when we use that word, I think it's perhaps inappropriate in certain situations. But there are things that come up in families that we've talked about here on the podcast, and they're real. They have meaning. And I think in the series, you'll find a few things that will probably be very helpful to you or to someone you know. Let's get started today on the Disappearing Mind podcast. Where were you when I needed help? Sibling conflict. Today, we're going to talk about care imbalance and feelings and emotions and brothers and sisters disagreeing on what is needed for their parents and how to go about it. Defining help and how to ask for it is really important as we get into this series. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about a brother and sister, Emily and Brian. Let's get into it. Emily's at the kitchen sink washing yet another dish. Her mom has mid-stage Alzheimer's disease and is asleep in the recliner, finally. The day has been long, and it's only 2 p.m. Her phone buzzes. It's her brother, Brian. Brian on speaker. Hey, Em. I was thinking maybe we could fly Mom out here for Christmas this year. I mean, she hasn't seen the kids in a while. Might be nice. Emily is choking, laughing. Fly her out there? You mean after I get her through the airport security with a mobility walker and an unpredictable temper? After I medicate her for the flight and then fly right back because I can't leave her alone? Brian, I'm just trying to help, Em. You always act like I don't care. Emily, you don't get to say that when I've been doing all of it. I hear this a lot in my dementia coaching with families over the years. Perhaps I felt this way myself. I think it's pretty normal. But this is a rift going on that we really need to talk about, break down, and begin to deal with it. But as a coach, there are so many families that find themselves in this kind of conflict. Not in a dramatic courtroom showdown, but in a kitchen, doing dishes. And the phone rings, and there's this invisible resentment. One sibling carries the weight, the doctor's visits, bathing, the bills, the meds, the middle of the night wandering, and the other says, let me know if you need anything, and disappears behind a vague offer and busy schedules. It doesn't always come from malice. Sometimes those reactions come from fear. Come from distance, denial, or even guilt. But the result is the same. One sibling drowns quietly while the others think they're doing enough. Now, this doesn't have to be a sibling here, folks. This could be an aunt or an uncle. It could be so many scenarios. Let's just talk about some of the hard conversation that needs to be had here, and a little bit of honesty will go a long way. The scene shifts to Emily and Brian finally meeting in person after months of growing tension. Emily says to Brian, do you even know how many nights I've spent on the couch in case she wakes up confused and begins to wander? Do you know I haven't had a day off in 14 months? You never asked me to take over, Brian said. I figured you had it all under control. You always have. Because every time I have tried to bring it up, Brian, you said, we'll figure it out. And nothing ever changed. What do you want me to do? What do you want from me, Em? Emily pauses. I want you to see what it is doing to me. I want you to stop pretending that a phone call and a holiday idea counts as help. This is a conversation that I want to point out to you. And it's the conversation I need to have with you and you need to have with your family. And here's where things can shift if you have these kinds of conversations. When you are the primary caregiver, help has to be more than a vague offer. It has to be defined, requested, and acknowledged. So let's break that down and define what help looks like. And it may look different for you than it does for me. It's not one size fits all. Be specific. Write down the kind of help that you need. Can you handle mom's medication refills every month from now on? That's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty clear. It's very specific. Can you take the weekend shift every other month so I can leave town? Another very specific. Can you schedule and attend her next neurologist appointment? I need $200 a month from you to help cover her adult daycare program. When we define help, we can make it actionable. And we can take away the excuse of, I didn't know what you needed. I will tell you, in defense of the person who you may think is not helping, we're not very good at defining what kind of help we need. I know that my sister asked me on multiple occasions what she could do. I generally generalized everything until I had a specific appointment or a specific need. We really have to take the initiative as the caregiver to be very specific and to think what we need help with without guilt. I mean, we don't have to do everything. We need to ask without apologizing. You don't have to feel guilty for needing help. Everybody needs help. This journey is too difficult to do on our own, and we need help. Asking isn't weakness. It's actually wisdom. Start the conversation with, I need to talk to you about sharing responsibilities. I know you love her too, and right now, I can't keep doing this alone. I'm not asking you to do everything. I'm asking you to do something, and then be specific. This is the time when we want to address the emotional divide. Sometimes it's not just about logistics. It's about pain. Siblings see the same parent through different lenses. If one is in denial, it may be easier to check out than to step in. That's why we must name the emotional elephant. I feel angry and alone. I feel like our relationship is strained, and I don't want it to stay this way. I need us to be on the same team. It's not just a cry for help. It's called to reconnect. Later that night, Brian sends a text. I can't undo the months you've done alone, but I booked a flight. I'll stay with mom next weekend so you can go see your friends. Let's talk more. I'm listening now. Emily stares at the screen. It's not everything, but it's something. And that something feels a whole lot like help. Caregiving should not cost you your family. It shouldn't cost you your life, but it often creates a void. It creates silence, resentment, and even isolation between family members. You have the right to ask. You have the right to share the burden. And sometimes you have to teach others what true help looks like. After all, they don't have a crystal ball, and they may not actually recognize what it is that you need. Start the conversation. It may not go perfectly, but it will go somewhere. And somewhere is better than being alone in the caregiving journey. We hope that these episodes, especially this series, is helpful to you. Consider sharing it with someone who may need encouragement, clarity, or just a reminder that they're not alone on this journey. Whether you're a caregiver or a concerned family member, maybe you're a friend who doesn't know what to do, or your friend who is caring for someone with dementia. Walking through memory loss is not an easy path. Remember, healing often begins with honest conversations and a little compassion. It shouldn't cost you everything. And if you take the time to sit down and ask yourself, what are 5 things? What are 10 things that I could use help with? From running errands to going to the grocery store to doctor's appointments to pick up the dry cleaning, whatever it might be to take off your plate, begin writing it down and begin asking for help. Until next time, this is Dawn Platt. I hope that you will listen, like, subscribe, and share the podcast, and visit us on thedisappearingmind.com. This is Dawn Platt. Make it a memorable day.
Thank you for joining us for the Disappearing Mind podcast. We hope it's helped you find clarity and support along your journey. Be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode, visit our website to suggest future topics, and share the podcast with friends and family.